Good evening, everybody. This is JD Currie with Basics of Paranormal Investigations. So, today I would like to talk about how to find an investigation. First, I'm going to start by showing you the many different databases that are available to find locations. Let's start with hauntedplaces.org. Hauntedplaces.org has this overall map of the USA, and then you can click on individual states or locations, in this case states, and then it has a smaller Google Maps that shows where each thing is. If you were to click on one of these, it would show the address of the location, so you can put it on your Google Maps and mark it. This place has several different locations in my state, New York State, but it has several locations everywhere. The next haunted places database I want to point out is the Shadowlands. So this database has different countries outside of the US, but this one doesn't have a well-developed map. This database has a list within each individual state, and some of these locations people might have never heard of before, but there's a lot more different locations listed here than there is on hauntedplaces.com. Next database I'm going to talk about is fairly the newest one. It is ghostquest.net. This one has a well-developed map for like the US, but once you click on this, it becomes a list. So it's kind of a hybrid between hauntedplaces.com and Shadowlands. The difference between this list and the Shadowlands list is that it actually gives you an address for each location, so again, you can mark it on your map and save it for later. So another way to find paranormal investigation locations is to follow a local paranormal investigator. See what they're doing, follow them on Instagram, sometimes watch their YouTube videos. The one that I like to pay attention to is Spook Eats. Turns out that she's been to Devil Soul State Park. I was there last winter. If you guys want to check out the video, it'll be the latest NEMS Remnants video. So once you find a location, oftentimes you'll have to find an owner. So first step is to find an address. And I'm going to show you one way to find an address of a location if you don't know what the address is. So this application is C3R LQ. It's an address finder. I use this several times. I've used this to find a couple of different locations in Wellsville and other local towns. For some reason the CTR LQ wasn't working, but there's several other ways to find an address. I can put that in a later video if you like. You can ask for it in the comments and I will put it in a later video. The next step in getting permission to investigate a location is finding an owner. So this is the public's entrance into the Steuben County GIS, which is basically a tax mapping service. So anybody can access this. This is public information. So I'm going to try to find one of the places that I'm trying to get permission to investigate right now. And it is in Arkport, New York, but it's a very small place, so I don't think anybody's really going to be visiting it. So this gives you plenty of information, including the owner name, so you can find them on Facebook or look them up if they have a company. And it also gives you the address of the location. So that is it for this episode of how to find a location. And this was the Basics of Paranormal Investigations with JD Currie. So if you didn't see last week's episode, I'll have a link at the end of this video. And also, if you are into paranormal investigations, I'll also have a link to the Alfred State Paranormal Investigation Urban Exploration Club and NEMS Remnants. Till next time, take care.